Hi everyone. Are you a mom that asks yourself, is estrangement always the parent's fault? If that's a question you're asking yourself, stay tuned because I want to talk about that today. But first, my name is Sally Harris and I'm a mom who walked a difficult road with my own daughter for over a decade. And when her life spiraled, so did mine. So I just want to welcome you if you're brand new to my channel. I hope you subscribe for more information on different videos that I do. And I'm just glad you're here. Welcome. You know, there is no concrete answer to this question, but is estrangement always the parent's fault? The answer is no. You could ask yourself the flip side. Is estrangement always the child's fault? I believe the answer is no to that as well. The reason I'm doing this video is because that is one of the biggest questions I asked myself for a very long time, is like, what did I do? Was this all my fault? Because as moms, we take so much ownership of what happens to our children, and we take ownership in the good times and the bad times, right? But then we put it all on ourselves as if we are the only influence in their life, which we both know that's not the case. So I wanted you to just think about a few things here today, because estrangement has so many facets to it. So there's you, the mom. There's your own childhood, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. There's your growing up period and you becoming a mom, raising your kids, going through life, working, doing all the things that you're doing. And our choices do affect our kids. Our choices as they're being raised do affect our kids, good and bad, right? None of us are perfect parents. But there are times where there's a lot of unresolved conflict or stress, or, our kids are making choices that maybe we're not liking. And so we push them away, or we get critical and we get extremely judgmental without really trying to hear them through. But some of you I know are saying, I would love the opportunity to have that conversation with my son or daughter, but they won't give it to me. Well, I also believe that, that didn't happen overnight in their life or yours. And so I think a lot of times our kids are possibly being, I don't want to say coerced, but really, they're being prompted to cut family members off for those that don't agree with them. For those that don't agree with, political, religious issues, whatever the case may be. In other words, there is no agree to disagree anymore. And it's really unfortunate. But that at the end of the day if that's the case, that's going to be your child coming to the conclusion themselves that said, hey, is this issue or this thing really worth losing my family over? Really worth losing my mom over? And many times our kids do come to reality and realize that they have to be responsible for their own actions, just like you have to be responsible for yours. And a lot of children do end up coming back. Now, one of those things is, like I said, explore the responsibility that you had when they were growing up. I always say when we are raising our kids, we're the top influence in their life. Like we're it, right? We're everything to them, and they're going to mimic us, and we're the biggest influence. But then as they grow up and they go to school and all these things, they have friends and they have a lot of other influences in their life. So we no longer become the only influence. And so you have to remember that when you are sitting here wondering what the heck happened, like why did my child go so far off track of who they used to be? Well, they have other influences and they have free will to make choices that we may or may not like, right? Doesn't mean they're going to stay in those choices. A lot of kids don't. Sometimes it's a stage that they're going through, or rebellion, or whatever the case may be. But sometimes they do stay there. And so that is really, I would just encourage you to remember that we have that parental responsibility at one point in their life, but now they have their own responsibility that they have over their own lives and their own choices. And so I just want you to consider that. And so the question, is estrangement always the parent's fault? No, of course not. Of course not. I just want you to remember that regardless of, as a mom, we could sit back and go, oh, I've got a whole list of things that I know I did wrong, and I'm beating myself up over all of this, which I encourage you not to. But it's one of those things that I think there's a period of time right after the estrangement happens that's normal. You're going to go through that. And myself or anyone else isn't going to be able to stop you from doing that, because we are racking our brain trying to figure out what happened. And sometimes we know and sometimes we don't. But I just want to encourage you that things change, life changes, and just because it looks this way today doesn't mean it's going to be this way. And if I could tell you that I'm a woman of faith, and I still did not feel like I would ever have my daughter back until I started changing my trust and my faith, number one, but also I started speaking that way. I started picturing her in our home. I started picturing her having family dinner again. All of these things. Now, did that bring her back? No, I don't believe that in and of itself brought her back. But I do believe that, God can change a lot of things in our lives, whether you realize it or not. And so I just want to encourage you with that today. But just know that this is not all your fault. And I know I get a lot of adult children watching my videos as well, believe it or not. And I want them to know that this isn't their fault either, right? This isn't all their fault either. Any relationship has two people, and any relationship is going to have problems. We're just so closely knit because we're mother and son, mother and daughter, like that. You can't get much closer than that, right? So I just want to encourage you today, and I hope that that helps you realize that you have to make choices in your own life to move forward as a mom, and so that you can move forward and not stay stuck on that list of things that you think you did wrong, or that maybe you did do wrong. But at the end of the day, there's also forgiveness and a lot of grace that can happen. And so I really hope that that happens for you as well. So if you and I have never chatted before and you're looking for a consultation, and you're a mom that is like, yes, I am ready for help. I have been doing this long enough. I don't know what to do anymore. I need help. And so if that's you and you're interested in learning more about my coaching programs, you can click the discovery call link below with the discovery call. It's a consultation, not a coaching call, like I said. And so it's an opportunity for us to get to know each other. And then I can share with you about the different options that I have that could help you for your specific situation. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time.